Hello and welcome to day 11 of my 12/12 birthday countdown. And so today's essential tool is actually one that was suggested by a friend of mine. And so just to give you a little bit of backstory, when I was telling her about my countdown and she was asking me, how long have you been doing this? And I was like, oh, well, almost every year since 2012. And she's like, and you do this every day for 12 days? And I was like, yep, I do videos, but before I did Facebook posts and things like that to count down. And so she was like, that takes a lot of perseverance. I hope that you have perseverance on your list. And I did it until she recommended it to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that she was right. Perseverance is definitely something that I have in my toolkit. And to be honest, as I thought a little bit more about how perseverance has been essential in my life, I realized that I rely on it more than I actually thought. And so the most prominent example that comes to mind is me pursuing my doctorate. And so for those who go through the process, they know that it can be very grueling. It's a lot of hard work, especially if you did what I did, where I was working full-time and pursuing my degree part-time. It just takes a lot of discipline and organization and diligence to do all of the work that is required for a doctoral degree. And when I think about all of the classwork that I had to do and the research that I was conducting during the pandemic, mind you, and then all of the writing that I had to do. And so when people ask me about my dissertation, there were 203 pages of blood, sweat, and tears that I turned in at the end of my journey. And when I think about the process of getting there, there are definitely moments where I wanted to give up, and I was just like, I'm just gonna have to disappoint some people. But then I also thought about the financial commitment that I made to pursuing a doctorate, and it's like, well, do I really want to be in all this debt and not have anything to show for it, right? And then it also made me think about just the legacy that I would be missing out on. And so for me, education is something that's so important. It's something that my great-grandmother instilled in us. And so for me, I felt like I needed to finish, not only for me, but just for the people who were supporting me. And no matter what, I just could not give up. And so I just persisted and did everything that I could to finish in the time frame that I wanted to finish, literally down to the last 2 days before I would have to re-enroll again as a student, which I wanted to avoid altogether. But nonetheless, it was that persistence that really got me through. And so while persistence is something that I wouldn't necessarily have automatically thought of, it is certainly something I'm grateful for, because I feel like without having that within me, I certainly would not have been able to finish my degree. And when I think about some of my other accomplishments, that persistence has also helped me to push forward. Perseverance is something that I certainly took for granted. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, that is an essential tool, and I can't believe that I've sort of ignored it all this time. But I think part of it just comes from me just being so focused on the task at hand, or focused on where I wanted to go, that I didn't realize that there was a high level of persistence that was pushing me that other people don't necessarily possess. And so by talking about persistence here and now, I'm reminding myself to make sure that it's something that I don't take for granted going forward. And so that is today's essential tool. I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you here tomorrow for our final day of our countdown. Okay? All right, see you.